Hello, I'm Nancye Hayes.
And I'm Reg Livermore.
And we're looking forward to touring our new show,
Turns. Nancye and I have long admired one another on stage and off. We've not worked very much together in the course of our long careers, so we wanted to address that situation, and so I wrote a show for the pair of us.
Just in the nick of time. No, that's not what it's called.
No, it's not called that, but it is just in the nick of time. So we decided that when discussing the show that we were going to do, that really we wanted to have a good time. Whatever else happened, we want to have a good time. We want to enjoy ourselves. Also, we wanted the show to contain all of the sorts of things that we really like to do. Like Nancye loves to dance and sing, and I like to sing and dance, and we like comedy.
And we like to laugh a lot. And
that's
we like
right.
To make you laugh.
Yep, and sometimes we like to be just slightly serious.
Yes,
but
dramatic.
That's right. And so we put all of these things together, and so the show that we've come up with, which is called Turns, is a kaleidoscope of theatrical styles, all sorts of influences, the sorts of things that Nancye and I have had always loved during our careers. You know,
kaleidoscope, I love a kaleidoscope. I haven't had one since I was a child.
I'll get you some water in case you have one now. Listen,
a bit of a turn.
Yes. So it's to do with pantomime and vaudeville and the echoes of burlesque, film noir, grand guignol, all the sorts of things that make for a really good night in the theatre.
I play a woman with an entertaining form of dementia. I think that's a nice way to put it. She believes she was a great star of the stage and is reliving her past, which gives me great scope for all sorts of nonsense. And she talks about her marriage and her son and what a disagreeable boy he is, although he is looking after her beautifully. Mm-hmm. And she's just a lovely madcap, a little bit of pantomime, which I love because that was really what introduced me to theatre, was going to the pantomime when I was a kid and seeing the dames. And she's a little bit like a dame. There's nothing like a dame, let's face it. Mm. And I finally get a chance to play something in the pantomime vein because that was my ambition years ago.
Now the situation is basically a mother and a son in a situation in a flat down by the harbour somewhere in Sydney. Now she's a very unusual mother.
Indeed I am.
And I am...
a theatrical one.
And that's right.
Not a stage mother.
No. But Marjorie is her name, and she tells us that she had a life in showbiz. So most of her waking hours are spent reliving all of the wonderful experiences she had. You know, everything that goes along with being a star in the theatre. Gentlemen callers backstage, many of them buying her champagne, and one of them she actually married. Didn't you? You married one of them.
I did marry one of them, the wrong one, unfortunately.
That's right. And so she's 95 years old, as it turns out. So her life...
Tell me that.
So her life is actually passing before her eyes because it's fair to say she's probably on the way out. So she's recalling all these wonderful moments in her life. And her son, Alistair, is her carer as well. So he doesn't want to rock the boat at this stage of her life, so he goes along with, you know, her fantasies, and he acts out some of the roles as required by Marjorie during her moments of fantasy. You know, he becomes her doctor, he becomes her husband, her best friend. Anything that she requires, he's happy to do. There's lots of music in the show.
Lots of underscoring.
Yes, and a few songs.
Oh, yes, and dancing.
A few dances for you, that's for sure.
Oh, well, you should dance as well, I think.
Oh, well, might do a little bit. Our keyboard is played by Vincent Colagiuri, so it's not just the two of us, there's actually three of us.
A big show.
But let's just talk about the name Turns, for instance. When you were a child who's talented, like Nancye was and I was, your relatives would often say, "Oh, go on, Nance, get up and give us a bit of a turn." And that used to be said to me, so of course...
One obliged.
That's right, one obliged,
then
you know.
You couldn't get us off.
That's right. So it's to do with taking turns and the show that is full of different sorts of turns. Each one a style unto itself, and hopefully a sort of great big fabulous mesh of
laughter and fun.
Yes, exactly.